back to Sonic Chaos. My name's Steve.
Yes, my name's Donovan.
And today we are in a swanky new outfit here. Not the outfit, but the room itself. We've stepped our podcasting game right up.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
So we are going to be bringing a lot of episodes like this to you, as well as many other things across the show. In particular, a live show with live performing artists. We've got a whole bunch coming to you. But today we're going to talk about what makes a legend in music.
Yeah. Well, I think legend, icon. Yeah. So you have legendary bands and you have iconic figures, don't you?
Yeah.
So I think they're kind of both mix and match. It's the two terms are thrown around a lot.
Yes.
These days. So is it thrown around too much? I think the theme of this one today has to go because we are in Birmingham.
Of course.
And Birmingham has lost, and the metal world has lost one of their founding fathers, haven't they?
Yeah, one of its leaders.
Yeah.
So yeah, obviously Ozzy Osbourne, we found out yesterday, sadly passed away. What a way to go out though with that final farewell show, and
it makes
it makes the fact that it was a farewell show as well even more poignant now.
Yes.
That gig was already pretty historic, but the fact it's happened so close to his death, I think that's almost like the Live Aid of metal music.
Well, if you're going to have a career like that with so many ups and downs, so many highs and lows, to sign off in that way, I don't think he could have chosen a more fitting way to sign off. It's almost like it was timed, It
does make you wonder whether maybe it was. Do you think? Because I listened to one interview, and he said in order to do the show, he had to come off some of his medication, especially his painkillers, because he just wouldn't have been able to do it.
Sure.
So it does make you wonder whether he kind of knew the writing was on the wall. And have you ever had a family member? Like, it's weird, because I remember when my granddad, when he passed away, he sort of got a huge family, but he sort of seemed to manage to hang on until he sort of said goodbye to everyone.
Seen everyone, yeah. And
then he just died. And he's like, I always find that stuff kind of weird. It's like he managed to just hang on long enough to see it out before getting. It feels like that's happened with this.
Possibly. You don't know, do you? You don't. That is the kind of great unknowable thing. What happens in the moments and the days before the guarantee of all life happens, we don't know. But yeah, there are some moments that you can't explain that we've had with family members or friends where sometimes they seem to be aware of it coming. But either way, what a way to go out.
No, absolutely.
You too often hear about, this person, this icon, this person that was well thought of, famous. They were just preparing for a comeback, or Michael Jackson, Prince. They were building up to something.
Yeah.
And they didn't get a chance to see it through. So, fair play, Ozzy. You did it.
No, he managed to do it.
You did it, yeah.
Yeah, he did it, and it was such an iconic gig as well, which is amazing. But the topic of this podcast today is what makes these people icons. And I've been kind of racking my brain to sort of think, well, is it just longevity? I don't think it's just that. When I looked at a lot of, not all, but a lot of the iconic people, the ones we would consider iconic and legends.
Yeah.
A lot of them have got a lot of controversy in their lives.
Yeah.
And it feels like you almost need a bit of controversy and a little bit of chaos. Right?
Yeah, with a K, obviously.
Yeah. We need a little bit of chaos to be interesting enough to warrant the eyes on you. Do you know what I mean? I always think, if you actually think about it, and I don't need to come across the wrong way, but already so early on in this podcast. But if you look at some of the things that he did, right? just mental, right? And not all of it was even good stuff, you know. Like he's got a history of certain things that he got up to that would have been illegal or, you know, considered not great things to do as a human. But for some reason, we love him. And then you think, well, why is that? And I think it is when you see like bands like Motley Crue and people like that.
Yeah.
I think it's because at some point we've all just gone, I wish I could just like let everything go, all my inhibitions go, and just go on a wild tear up. But we don't, because we're like normal, law-abiding, good people.
Yeah.
But I think we look to those people and go, wish I could do that.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah. Well, you know, you mentioned sometimes they have to be doing things that sometimes that you don't even know are true. You know, sometimes someone's persona follows them. Yeah. And then people make a story and then it builds and then it builds and then it builds. Yeah. And then you hear the original story and it was a lot smaller than you originally thought it was. Because things get built upon, don't they? Yeah. Especially now. Do you know what I mean? And that is the whole term legend, isn't it? Yeah. Robin Hood. Was he real? That's a legend. It's like folklore. Yeah. And they make themselves...
Did he really do that? Yeah, I mean,
They make themselves... That's legendary. Yeah. Iconic is something that everyone follows and sees as, you know, up there above... for me, personally, above... transcends a genre, you know. Yeah. So, so that's a whole legendary thing, isn't it? Because obviously the whole... There's lots of stories about Ozzy. When he said the original story... Yeah, it wasn't as layered as because stories get kind of changed, Chinese whispers, whatever you want to call them. They build and build and build, and then originally it was just we did this, and you know the whole obviously the famous biting the head off the bat because he thought he was a toy, that kind of thing. Yeah,
did he? I don't know.
You don't know, do you?
Think he was a toy? You don't know. Yeah,
that's the whole legendary status to me. So
I think also as well though you've got like. I mean, if you look at the likes of, let's look at like other legends, like you got Tom Jones, people like that. You know, he was a complete womanizer. Again, going against all the features that women sort of would want in a man. Yet they bloody well loved him, and he became sort of this iconic sex symbol in the music industry for many women. Yeah, I suppose if their husbands were like him, they wouldn't want to be with that person for very long. But
Bob Marley,
but he got
Bob Marley had. I don't know, 30 kids with different women, you know, but he used to sing about, you know, how you treat your woman and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, yes, he died in his early 30s. So that always canonizes someone. Yeah. When they die young, that kind of cements their legendary figure. But so there's always, you can't be.
So I think I actually looked a bit further into this. And I think controversy was the big factor for rock stars and hip-hop stars. But the one with hip-hop, when I looked into it even more, because I don't think there's a genre that's affected culture more than hip-hop did. Now, I'm a rock guy, and I still think that hip-hop had a huge culture, the way it shifted culture. And when I say that is because I think some rappers and a sort of crossover artists actually became legends and icons for other reasons. Like when I think about Wu-Tang Clan and Beastie Boys and people like that, I think about their style and their fashion and the Wu-Tang Air Jordans and like, and I actually think of them as more as like fashion, but they did something that was so cool. It was almost like the opposite of what rock was doing. They went, we're going to be uber cool, like, and just the fashion thing. I know what they're rapping about, and all that had political stuff behind it, and there was a little bit of chaos. But I just feel like when I think of certain groups, there's always something you can pin to them. Like you think of Kiss, you think of the makeup and the big thing, and these you've got to have something that makes you different to everyone else.
Yeah, and I think I do agree with you on the hip hop thing, but to an extent, because for me hip hop is a movement and it's broad. Yeah. So rap music is the music of hip hop. Yeah. Graffiti is the fine art form of hip hop. Yeah. breakdancing.
Exactly.
Breaking.
This is what you.
That
Yeah.
is the movement of hip hop. It kind of swallowed up quite a lot of different art forms.
Yeah.
Under its
Umbrella.
Yeah.
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 No, it did, and I think that's why when you get
like what you're wearing, you mean like the baggy clothes. Obviously, there's one school of thought that says it was because of the hoods and the ghettos. They were wearing their brothers and their dad's clothes. That's why they were so baggy.
Yeah.
That's why.
Oh, okay. That's kind of.
Do you know what I mean? Like big
I didn't
clothes.
know that, but yeah.
That so
Makes sense though.
it would make sense, yeah. But yeah, so it was a look.
But again, they were all surrounded by controversy.
Oh God.
You look at the biggest legends. You look at Eminem, Tupac, Biggie, all the rest of them. They were all surrounded by controversy. So in order for me to become an iconic rock singer, do I need to like go outside and mug an old lady quickly, or what do I have to do?
Yeah.
Because the times have very much changed now.
It's been done. It's all been done.
But how do you become iconic now, though? That's the thing. Like, I think now it's going to be so much harder because we can't snort ants anymore without having Greenpeace come after you or something.
No one's watching. No one's interested.
Do you know why, though? I think there was more intrigue, though, back then than there is now. It's because you just said it. It was legend. It was Ozzy did this thing.
I know someone that was there when that happened.
Yeah, but you can't do that now because everyone's got one of these.
Exactly.
So like it's like
There's no intrigue anymore.
If it's not being recorded, it didn't happen.
It didn't happen. There you go.
That's it. So we've lost the mystery. So what we need to do then is we need to somehow ban mobile devices.
Yeah. Okay.
How do we get around that?
Who wants to sign the petition? Actually, we'll have to turn this off.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. So we've all become. I think we've become a little bit of a. Did you film it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Where is it? Where's the proof of it? You know. But it used to be 3 channels on telly.
Yeah.
And then. I was saying this to a friend the other day. Do you remember when TV used to end?
Yeah, I do.
Like 2 o'clock in the morning, it used
Just
to go.
Girl with a doll.
Okay, the TV is finished for the day. There's no more TV. Go to bed.
What was with the creepy girl with a doll?
That was it. Nothing. The TV has finished for the day. Can you imagine that? TV finishing.
Jesus, no.
We're all going to bed, and you should too.
No.
But anyway, so yeah, because everything is it's so. There's no way to be folklore anymore, is there?
Are there any legends that you can think of off your top of your head that weren't shrouded at some point with some form of controversy?
No, I can't think of any.
What about like Dolly Parton? Was she a good girl or not?
I think she's still about, but
Dolly Parton is still very much about.
She's got a mysterious husband that she's been with for 7,000 years, and no one's ever seen his face.
That's kind of intrigue. Yeah,
that's intrigue.
She's got her own theme park.
Yeah.
But do you know what I think she did well? Was you look back at some of her old interviews,
Go on.
and she knew the hosts and that would want to flirt with her and stuff. But she was so clever, so smart. She used to play on that being flirtatious, but she did it in such a way where she almost disarmed the person interviewing them.
Yeah.
And she was bloody brilliant at that.
Yeah.
And I think she probably became more of a legend because of her. I heard someone describe when it was like in the country industry, when Dolly walked into a room, even from a really young age, it was like, boom, everyone just...
That's aura, that's different.
Shuts up and look.
Yeah,
okay, yeah, so...
That's aura, isn't it? And you can't teach that. You just have to have it.
Yeah, some people just do, don't they?
Yeah, they just got it.
It is kind of weird, that. What is that?
I don't know.
What is aura?
That's a different show.
That's a different show, yeah. So we're getting ideas.
Can you teach aura? No, I don't think
you can't, can you?
You can.
It's mad though, man. Well, like you say, you can't do the controversial things anymore because cancel culture's gonna get you. It's gonna get you fast. So, what do you do? I don't get what you do. How do you get past? How do we get future legends? Are there any modern day, let's say from 2000s onwards,
Banksy?
right, that you could think of, as an artist?
Oh, you mean music?
Yeah, musically. Can you think of anyone that in 30 years' time we're all still going to be raving about? Could there be any icons? There's only one I can think of, and I've seen him live, and I actually think Bruno Mars could possibly sit in that bracket somewhere in the future if he keeps making music as he gets older.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just because like everything he does seems to be pretty pretty darn good, and he's done it consistently now over a really long period of time.
Yeah.
Will Ed Sheeran be iconic? One man in an acoustic guitar fills out Wembley 3 nights in a row. Like, are there many people that could do that?
That's what. It's an intangible. You could discuss it forever, couldn't you? You could discuss it forever. Okay, is the legend and icon thing slightly different? So the legendary thing, some mystique around them, like Gorillaz, Daft Punk. No one knew what they looked like for 25 years.
Amazing.
And everyone's been trying to. What did they look like when they were this age?
I tell you, the only people.
There's a mystery around.
Yeah.
So that's more legend.
See, there's only one band at the moment trying to do that I know to, and that's Sleep Token.
Never heard of them.
Sleep Token just had like a #1 album, #1 single. One of the first metal bands in probably about 15, 20 years.
I'm laughing because we were talking about this the other day.
You're going to have to start listening to new music. So Sleep Token are just killing it at the minute. Now, it's not artistically, their staging and their performance is just out of this world, but their names are like #1 and #2 and #3, and the one's called Vessel or something. I'm not even sorry if I'm getting the names wrong, but yet no one knows who they are.
Okay,
it's quite clearly a super group of very talented musicians.
Yeah,
because they seem too good to just be new off the block. Yeah. And they have been around for a while.
What are they called?
They're called Sleep Token. They've just had I think they were like the first metal band in forever to have a #1 single in the UK official charts.
Wow.
Like, it's a really long time.
Okay.
I mean, and guitar music in general is doing really good again, but when you're looking around and it's like, well, who's going to be the next legends? I find it difficult to work out who they are, because it's the characters that are missing now. Like,
well, I said it about sport as well. You don't get the characters anymore and I think it might be similar with sport, because everyone's so worried about
too many
being
cameras
filmed and and someone taking something that you said out of context and just snipping it and going, look what this person said. It's just
someone's letting me on a podcast. with all those things you just said in mind, and we're filming it.
Yeah, no, it's true. That's true.
There will be controversial moments on this.
It's all right. Let's get people to watch it first, and then we'll worry about it.
Yeah.
No. To be fair, I think it's just, we're just such like me.
It's just
I'm doing the glasses thing.
You are doing the glasses thing. It's just hard though, because I want to be able to define what makes a legend, and
we're just such grasses these days.
Yeah, we are.
It
However, can I just say something though about why all the cameras and. So a lot of music artists these days will complain that, we've got to be content creators as well now. We can't just make music. Right. Ozzy Osbourne and Sharon Osbourne are responsible for that.
Yeah.
Because they were the first ones that, I suppose, the reality TV thing around MTV, and then they did the first real big one. I don't think they were the first, but they were one of the first big ones. That sort of invited camera crews into their houses and just did.
I don't know the facts, but it had to have been really early. It had to be one of the first.
He was one of the first,
kind of rock stars to bring.
But I think he was the biggest name that did it. But by doing that, and I think again this is Sharon's brain idea, because
she's the business.
She's the business. Yeah, but she realised that metal music was waning a little bit, and she then sort of said, "Well, let's do this." They do it, and it's like now he's got a whole other bunch of fans that are not necessarily even metal fans. It's just this really weird family that we're all now going to watch, which we over time can convert a lot of them into music fans. So there's your content creators.
You got American teens going Sharon, and they don't know why.
Yes.
Who this old man is.
Yes.
Who's only about 52, which is terrifying.
Yeah.
Who's this old man going Sharon?
But everyone loved him.
Yeah. Because he's got that natural.
But that now is why that then in later years, reality TV turned into vlogging, which was the rawest form of reality TV. And then vlogging crept into every type of social media. So there you go, kids. If you're all complaining about having to do lots of content, it's because of Sharon Osbourne. So I think,
blame Sharon Osbourne.
Yeah. But again, that gave him his legendary status, because it wasn't necessarily... It
wouldn't have been relevant now without that show.
It wasn't his antics on stage, it was his personality on the camera as well.
You'd have to... I'm not saying there wouldn't be Black Sabbath and Ozzy fans now, but he wouldn't have been as front and centre
without that show
down the last 25, 30 years if it weren't for that show.
Yeah, because he had such a long time out.
Yeah, they didn't know who he was.
He had a long time out of the game as well.
A long time, yeah.
So it's a legend as well, or an icon. I think he's someone that can transcend generations.
Mm-hmm.
If you saw the footage from that Black Sabbath reunion gig, the audience members were like from like 12 to 120.
Yeah.
It was mental how the age range that were there.
Yeah.
It was like, I saw one photo of a girl who was out in town and has got a pink jacket on, all painted up with Ozzy and that. And someone spoke to her on the streets, and she was like, she designed the whole jacket herself. And they were like, well, why are you into Ozzy? It was like, Mum and Dad are into him. We've got all the records and blah, blah.
Yeah, that's it.
But that kid still had to listen to it and like it. So there's something about so it is mad. Like, I don't get it. I was looking at like Mick. I find this bar me right, because when you're talking about legends, you've got to be there as well. I think for it, you had to be there for some of them, because there's some legends that I just don't. I understand why they're legends and understand why they're icons. It's
Who are you going to blast?
I'm going after the Beatles again.
Right. No.
Right.
Okay.
Because they work really, like, you talk about Ozzy and you talk about Motley Crue and you talk about these other ones. They're inherently interesting whether you like them or not. They're still interesting because it's like they are nuts. What are they doing? Like, there's something
as
to
people,
talk
as personas.
Yeah, there's something to talk about. Whereas, well, if you want to come and see our show, like, it just.
I'm sorry, I can't agree with you. I
don't know. Anyway,
I can't agree with you.
No,
because
but they were the first to do something.
You're talking about more of an accent.
No. What I mean is, they were the first to do something right, and I get it. Whenever you're the first to do something, it's like Ozzy was the first, say, metal. Prince of Darkness,
yeah,
right?
Yeah, don't stamp on what I've got a thing here.
Yeah,
that I'm
Prince of
about.
Darkness. Even though I don't particularly, I listen to his music. I've been listening to it a lot recently since the Villa Park thing, and I actually think his music's that heavy. It's not. So,
no, it's not.
But then I go and listen to like the Beatles, for instance, and other than barring a couple of songs, I'm like, I've never really got into them. Nor with Mick Jagger and you know these bands. I've never been into them, and I look at them, but I understand why though. Do you know what I mean? Like Oasis, Oasis, they're going to be the next sort of legendary icons of indie rock. Well, they already are, aren't they? But again, if it wasn't for all that bloody controversy between the two brothers, this reunion gig they're doing now would not be this big.
Yeah, if they would have carried on, maybe they just would have petered out.
Exactly.
Like
the fact there was a massive feud.
Naturally, as God intended.
When there was a massive feud, when people still wanted more from them.
It's relevance, isn't it?
And then it was like, well, that's it. So I think that's it. I think I've convinced myself that it is.
That the Beatles are shit.
No. I think it's controversy.
We can't come back after all these years and go back to the Beatles speech.
No, I know, yeah. I just like bashing the Beatles because it just gets people angry in the comment. No, it's not that. But you know what I mean? They were the first to do it. Doesn't necessarily mean they were the best at doing it.
Do what?
Like what they did. Like, I mean, you look at the way they dressed. They were suited and booted. They were doing rock and roll. They were doing all this stuff. And don't get me wrong.
They were the first to break America.
Huge deal.
Have America going like that, feeding out there.
Yeah, it's a huge deal. What they did was groundbreaking.
The British invasion. They led the British invasion.
It was huge what they did. Right. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily like them, but you can see why they're so iconic. And then you've got obviously John Lennon, and you know he's the famous video in the bed with Yoko Ono, and there's all these moments that make you an icon.
He said they were bigger than Jesus, didn't they?
Yeah.
He didn't. He didn't. That was out of context. But you know there's a lot of stuff around. Do you know about like the Paul McCartney died, and then there was like an imposter put in place, like a.
Oh God, no!
You can't say there's not stories around the Beatles. You can't.
Yeah,
but
there is. There's so many. Like again, if he hadn't have been shot. Would there be, again, would the legendary status be as high as it is?
Yeah, no, exactly.
You just don't know. It's like Tupac. Tupac was brilliant. the fact that he was shot immortalised his music forever. I think it's one of them. So, but yeah, and then again you look at Elvis Presley and Eminem, and then you think, well, are they necessarily any better than what these guys were doing? But they took a genre of music that just
you classed them together like they were like like a duo or something.
Elvis
Presley and Eminem.
Elvis Presley and Eminem did the same.
They were dynamite together.
But they did the same thing, didn't they? I think Eminem's actually got a line in it in one of his songs. He took black music selfishly and used it to make myself wealthy. Yeah. Is one of the lines. So. But again...
he's got good self-awareness, put it that way.
Yeah. But again, not without controversy. So that's it, kids. If you want to be a famous icon of the future, surround yourself in lots of controversy and wild antics.
I did have a little bit here about...
Go on, you carry on.
Just a little bit about, why Ozzy is an icon and a legend.
Go on, then. Let's finish it off with this.
It's more to do with him and his band, really.
Of course, yeah.
1968. There's not many people that have lived and walked the same streets that we've walked that had a big hand in inventing a genre of music.
It's mental, yeah. It's huge.
I think we kind of downplay that sometimes. I know they didn't invent heavy metal on their own. There's lots of different moving parts to it, but
I've seen an argument somewhere actually in the last 2 days, and I've worked with these people. So I've worked with Judas Priest.
Yeah, of course.
I know Rob Halford.
Yeah. Of course. Is he coming on?
And I would love to get him on. Okay. So we'll work on that. Okay. I know his brother. We definitely get his brother's band on.
Okay.
But there's because they're around the same time.
Every single band, 68.
Yeah.
So Black Sabbath, 68.
Yeah.
Judas Priest, 68.
Yeah.
There's like 3 or 4.
And I think that
Deep Purple, 68.
And I think Judas Priest were heavier.
Yeah, possibly.
Their music was heavier, in my opinion. I think it was heavier. Breaking the law.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, if you actually listen to a lot of Ozzy's lyrics, he's away with the fairies with some of his lyrics.
I think that's what gets me about his early lyrics, because his voice was so clean, and so melodic.
He was,
It was kind of a nice foil to Wyoming's kind of No. But who they influenced. I've got a list here.
Go on, that's fine.
I've got a list.
Donovan's really prepared for this. Really prepared.
I've come prepared. Iron Maiden, Metallica, Megadeth, Slayer.
A lot of these were at the show, weren't they?
Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Nirvana, Guns N' Roses, Danzig, Pantera, Faith No More, Smashing Pumpkins, Typo Negative, Queens of the Stone Age. There's more.
Wow,
that's impressive.
Yeah.
You know, there are influential artists, of course there are.
Yeah,
Prince, Michael Jackson. You know, you got all these kind of different. James Brown, Bob Marley. Do you mean Beatles, Rolling Stones? But if you actually sat down and look at the list of people that give credit to Black Sabbath and then who they influenced, that's some network, man.
It's huge, isn't
That's thousands there.
And the thing is as well, when you hear stories about
Band from Aston just down there.
I know, it's mental, isn't it? I was saying this the other day, like the city of Birmingham, I mean, we had Lemmy in Stoke, you know, and Slash is from Stoke. And I just think that, I don't think there's enough pride in the Midlands.
Music-wise.
On what we've done musically. And this is one of the reasons why I'm so desperate to get this off the ground. I'm desperate to get this off the ground and the live show. Because the one thing I keep telling people all the time, and you've said it to me, you're like, yeah, but where's all the good music? And I'm like, the problem is now there's a new way of finding the music. You've got to know where to look.
Yeah.
And it's fully my intention to bring some of these amazing bands that I'm going around the country. I saw a band the other week. They played at a festival we played on. They were the first band on in the day, and there weren't a lot of people there. Everyone's still getting up with sore heads. I got up to have a coffee, some food. They were on like midday. Everyone's still hanging in the tents. And they were like, it was as if the Arctic Monkeys and Metallica had a baby, and then this band was born. It was like indie metalcore. It was bizarre. I was like, do I like it? I don't know if I like it. Then I got more and more into it, and by the end of it, I was like, "This is so good! This is so good! Why have I never heard this before? Why has no one had this idea?" And you're thinking, "This is a band no one knows about." So I think that the next icons are out there.
Of course they are.
They're just in a really weird world at the moment where record labels are not signing anybody because they don't want to risk anything. But we are living in a time now where bands can grow their following organically by themselves. But one of the things I really want to do with this channel, as well as interviewing people, is I want to have guests on here that can help. I'll use my marketing experience, and I'm going to do some tips videos as well on the channel on ways that I'm using marketing to promote my band, so people can use those exact same ideas. We're never going to charge a penny for any of this. It's all going to be a free resource on the channel. But I also want to get industry professionals in the door as well, so that we can talk to them. So there's going to be loads to come from this.
Sure.
And yeah, guys, I mean, yeah, what do you think makes an icon and a legend? Get involved in the comment section and let us know what you think.
Not just like a list of people. Why?
No, why?
What makes them that?
Yeah.
And as you said, to finish off, what we're doing here has never been it's not about us.
Nope.
It's never been about us. We're just shooting the breeze. We're just fans.
Love music.
We're just fans.
And I genuinely think there's a lot of really good music out there at the minute.
Of course there is.
And the Midlands is producing some phenomenal bands right now. There's loads about, and we want to get those names out. So if you like that kind of stuff, and not just rock bands as well, by the way, I've got rappers. We did a show with a rapper I've been working with for years. We did a little interview with him the other day. We've got loads of, it's multi-genre. It's not just about rock. So tune in, make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll be back with loads more real soon.
Peace.